Hello and welcome to the GovHack ACT Tasmania and Western Australia Awards ceremony. My name is Matthew Watt. I'm a board director of GovHack and the 2023 lead for GovHack in Tasmania. I and GovHack Australia acknowledge the traditional custodians on the land in which we are finding ourselves today. I'm streaming from the land of the Gadigal people and the Eora Nation. I and GovHack Australia pay my respects to elders past and present and celebrate the diversity of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island people and their ongoing culture and connections to the lands and waters of Australia. I and GovHack Australia acknowledge that sovereignty was never ceded. This evening we'll have guest presenters, Anshul Gupta, the ACT Regional Lead from GovHack, presenting the ACT Government Awards, David Caldwell from City of Hobart, presenting the City of Hobart Awards, and Jan Bryson from Partner and Prosper and Disability Assembly Western Australia, presenting the awards for those two organisations. As we gather to celebrate the innovative and collaborative, we must pause and express our profound gratitude to our sponsors of this event. With their generous support, GovHack would not be possible. Their commitment fuels not only just the prizes we eagerly anticipate, but also ignites the spirit of the community and pursuit of excellence that defines this competition. It's their investment in our colleagues, in our collective potential, enables us to harness the power of open data and drive meaningful change. So to all of our sponsors, we offer thanks for empowering the participants across the nation to develop projects that matter. Our 2023 lead international sponsor is Infosys, who we've been partnering with for 6 years now. Our Australian national sponsors are the Australian Taxation Office, IP Australia, National Freight Data Hub, Department of Employment and Workplace Relations, Quantium, and MatWatt. Our Australian national partners are the Australian Computer Society, and our sponsors for Australian Capital Territory, whose awards we're presenting tonight as one of the 3 regions. The sponsors and partners are Agile Digital as a silver sponsor, ACT Government as a platinum sponsor, Link Digital as a silver sponsor, and AWS as an event partner. And the other region we're presenting is Tasmania, and the sponsors and partners are City of Hobart as a silver sponsor and University of Tasmania as a venue partner. Our third region tonight that we'll be presenting awards is for Western Australia. The sponsors and partners are the Joint Disability Assembly WA and Partner and Prosper as gold sponsorship. Our event partner is City of Albany, another event partner is Pawsey, and a venue partner is Microsoft. Before we get started with the awards, I just do want to walk through the order. We'll be presenting the ACT, Tasmania, the Western Australian awards. Each award will be presented in the order of honourable mention, then runner-ups and winners. And I'll invite the guest award presenters for each of those to present those awards and call out the names. So as we start the awards, the first region we'll be covering, as I mentioned, is ACT, with the sponsor of the ACT Government. The award presenter that I'll welcome now is Anshul Gupta, who is our ACT lead for 2023. So welcome, Anshul.
Thanks, Matt, and good evening, everyone. So for the first challenge, Matt, announce the challenge?
Yep, so the first challenge for the ACT is making public archives more accessible. Its online catalogues like the ACT Memory provide information about government records and, where possible, provide copies of records themselves. These records are generally in PDF and JPEG format. This makes the documents difficult to search for, access, and use. How might government record catalogues like ACT Memories solve this problem and make the rich sources of information more useful?
A great challenge to make information more accessible, I must say.
Certainly, yes. So we've got one honourable mention for this challenge, and the one honourable mention is
Project 2173 from the team Project 2173, and the name of the project is Archival Detective App with the team Archival Detectives. Well
Thanks,
done.
Anshul. Yep. And then we have one runner-up for this challenge. And the runner-up is
Project Archive from Team Picture Perfect, just spelled as it sounds, right?
excellent. And then we have one winner for this challenge. And the winner is
Project Archivision from Bianco family from Digital Victoria. Big round of applause for Blaze, Bianco, Jason, and Alpha. Archivision is a prototype for an extended AI metadata and AI assistive technology system to enhance archive images. Through a range of AI techniques, Archivision produces metadata in JSON format that can be integrated into archival databases. Additionally, it generates audio MP3 files, which can be employed alongside images to provide assistance to visually impaired users. Well done. A round of applause for Project Archivision.
well done. Certainly. Congratulations to the team. So next, I will be moving on to the next challenge, which is charging electric vehicles in ACT. This challenge was for the ACT's zero emissions vehicle strategy, includes several incentives to purchase EVs, as well as plan to expand the public charging network to 180 charging stations by the year 2025. To build this network of charging stations, it is important that government understands where the greatest need for chargers across the territory. How can this be measured? And how can we assess effectiveness of public EV chargers in Australia? We have one honourable mention for this challenge, and the honourable mention goes to
Project Charger Finder from Team Fantastic Four from Melbourne. Well done.
Well done. And we have one runner-up for this challenge, and the runner-up for this challenge is
Project Can Charge from Team Actually. So intelligent use of CAN and ACT in their project and team name. Well done.
Well done. And moving on to the winner for the challenge, charging electric vehicles in ACT is
Project Electrical Vehicle or EVE Endpoint from Team Data Barbies from Digital New South Wales. Now, just about this challenge, this is one of the most popular challenge in ACT. We had 11 teams participate for this challenge. And with the heavy adoption of electric vehicles in ACT, this was one of the highly relevant challenge for our region. So well done, Team EVE. A round of applause for Team EVE. Now, just EVE is a solution that helps accelerate the implementation of national EV strategy. It's a national interactive mapping tool to support optimal investment in and deployment of EV charging infrastructure. Through the use of user-centric approach, they aim to provide insight to which type of chargers were built, where to build, and more importantly, when to build it. By opening the portal to current and potential EV owners, EVE empowers the end users to actively take part in shaping the future EV landscape and provide market-driven insights to charger provider.
Congratulations to the Team Data Barbies. And the next challenge for ACT government was how Canberra has evolved, showcasing historical imagery. The ACT government has ACT Mappy, visualises important geospatial data on ACT. As an interactive tool, ACT Mappy provides an opportunity to display data sources of Canberra's infrastructure, community facilities, and historical information. This challenge asks hackers to stitch together historical data sets of imagery prior to the year 2004 and showcase their importance from environmental to population trends. We have one honourable mention for this challenge. An honourable mention for the challenge goes to
Project Terra Glazer from Team Urban Threshold from Digital Western Australia. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Okay, and we have one runner-up for this challenge, and the runner-up for this challenge is
Project Hapstitch from Team Hapstitchers, Brisbane. Well done.
well done. Okay, moving on to the winner. So the winner for the challenge, How Canberra Has Evolved, Showcasing Historical Imagery, is
How Canberra Has Evolved, is the project name, and that's from Team Actuaries in Canberra. And this project aims to rekindle the public interest in Canberra's history and future by automating the assembly of historical images and providing insights into population trends. They use advanced image processing techniques, stitching scans from multiple years, and offer an interactive map of visualizing population growth and potential expansion to include environmental change data. Congratulations, Team Actuaries.
Yeah, congratulations, Team Actuaries. Okay, that concludes our challenges from the ACT and sponsored by the ACT government. So thank you, Anshul. We're moving on to our next challenge category. These are challenges from Tasmania. So we'll be running through the City of Hobart challenge first. So the award presenter for this will be David Caldor, the Design Lab lead for City Futures at City of Hobart. So welcome, David.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks.
Yeah, and I was going to ask, and start a bit of a conversation here, that I was interested to know, why does City of Hobart sponsor and support GovHack?
Great, thanks, Matt. And I'd also just like to start by acknowledging the Tasmanian Aboriginal people and their ongoing connections to land, waters and culture in the part of the world that I'm joining from. And also thanks to GovHack and all participants who are involved in this year's event. So yeah, we were really happy to be involved and support this year. City of Hobart is a small city, but increasingly home to a lot of innovators, creatives, makers, scientists, techies, and the ethos of open innovation is really important to us. And we recognize that the kinds of challenges that we're facing collectively as cities and communities are beyond the scope of what any one organization, an individual or government will be able to work on itself, and we need to collaborate and innovate together. So we have been very happy to support and be a part of this challenge and work with GovHack.
Thank you,
that
Dave.
leads quite nicely into talking about the challenge itself, which is looking at how climate change is impacting our local place and city, and what role we as a community and as a city might be able to take in moving towards a zero emissions and more resilient Hobart, what we're increasingly calling a climate ready Hobart. So the challenge itself is about moving in that direction. And the way we framed it was Hobart and our region are already experiencing the impacts of climate change. And we're seeking creative and innovative approaches that leverage open data to help the community to better understand and communicate climate risk, enable community-wide participation in both action and solutions, and to accelerate our transition towards a zero emissions and resilient city. So, we kept it quite broad intentionally, because we're really at the stages of seeking all kinds of different input from the community and across different sectors. And in this case, received some entries from across different parts of the country as well. So, we know this is a global challenge that plays out locally. So I think the more creativity across the network that can contribute to how we think about this locally, the better.
Excellent. And so we'll run through that. We have in this one, we've got 2 honourable mentions. So we'll read out them one at a time. So the first honourable mention goes to
the project Decarbo from Team Decarbo.
Yep.
And this team was out of Melbourne. Congratulations. Really well done.
Yep, congratulations, Team Takabo. And the second honourable mention goes to
This mention goes to Project Eco-Aware Hobart from the team Blahage Inc. is how I'm going to interpret the pronunciation, coming from Albany. And special shout out here for some great stop motion animation graphics used in the final presentation. Really creative work.
congratulations. And then we have one runner-up for this challenge, and the runner-up is
Runner-up is congratulations to Ecological Project from Synergy Group number 1, hailing from Canberra. Great stuff. Thank you.
okay. And then the winner for the challenge towards a zero emission and resilient Hobart is
Happy to announce that the winners for this challenge is the project The Blue Line, and that was a project that was come up with by the Launceston STEMinists, hailing from the north of Tasmania. And what we really loved about this particular entry was the combination of both thinking around how you would use data and technology in a solution, but yeah, how you would also combine that into a community context where you know, the behaviors of people and the relationships within networks and the stories of people about the effects of climate change are really used to create a powerful effect. You know, when neighbours are actually learning from each other, and it's much more focused on this sort of individual and household and community neighbourhood storytelling and behaviour change. So the description of this is a community project aimed at communicating the urgent need to address climate change and encouraging actionable steps to reduce carbon emissions. Through a combination of visual insertions into everyday environments and child-driven calls to action, we intend to raise awareness, educate and inspire our community to take meaningful steps towards a more sustainable future. The heart of the project is the blue line that represents floodwaters, a visceral insertion into communities showing climate change flood risk in their own streets. The blue line is coupled with climate actions originating from primary school children. Thanks very much for the creativity. We really loved what you put together there, and it's sparked a bunch of conversations on our side, and we'd be keen to take the conversation forward with you as well to explore it in the community. Thanks a lot.
excellent. And congratulations, Launceston STEMIS. It really was a great video. I enjoyed watching as well. I love that it moved away from some of the tech as well, where they were communicating a message that people see driving their cars going down the street and things through community participation. So excellent project. That does conclude our City of Hobart award presentation. So thank you, David, for joining us to present those. And look forward to continuing the relationship with City of Hobart and GovHack.
Likewise, thanks, Matt.
Moving on to the next challenge for Tasmania, we had another one which was a GovHack sponsored challenge. And the challenge for GovHack in Tasmania was using open data to support Tasmanians. Rises in the cost of food, rent and petrol have caused Tasmanians to draw on accumulated savings or term deposits to manage expenses. How can we use open data to identify areas of government support that would be impactful to support Tasmanians with the rising cost of living? We had 2 honourable mentions for this challenge. And the first one goes to Gov Affordability Planner by the Macquarian team from Digital New South Wales. Congratulations. And the second honourable mention goes to Small Change, Play with Impact from Digital ACT. Congratulations. And the winner of this challenge, using open data to support Tasmanians, is Community Needs Navigator by Millennial Snowflakes from Digital Victoria. This project, Community Needs Navigator, or CNN, is a tool to assist governments and charities allocate resources in areas that need it most. CNN leverages Australian Bureau of Statistics and Regional Data Hub data to segment Australian population into 9 distinct groups, which differ in terms of age, household income, socioeconomic status, cultural background, and more. These groups can use to identify areas in need and quickly and efficiently. In addition, the segments are combined with unemployment rate data and industry employment information for a comprehensive view of each area. The tool includes tables and charts, highlighting the difference between segments that the individuals can gain a detailed understanding and characteristics of each group, and which segments are ones to focus attention on. Well done to the team Millennial Snowflakes. Congratulations. And that concludes the GovHack Tasmania Awards. We'll be moving on to our next region in Western Australia. And our sponsor, Western Australia, was Disability, Western Australia, and Partner and Prosper. And for this, I will welcome Jan Bryson, who is a Representative Council Member, Disability Assembly Western Australia, and also Managing Director at Partner and Prosper. So welcome, Jan.
Thanks, Matt. Good to see you.
Okay. So do you want to tell me a little bit about why Disability Assembly and Partner and Prosper has sponsored GovHack, and also introduce the first challenge, if you could, please?
Sure. So I've been involved with GovHack for a little while, but there's never been any focus on disability in here. And it's always been a key aim of mine to get it involved somehow. And I was just trying to work out how. So this year, I've been quite heavily, in the last couple of years, actually been involved with the Disability Assembly, WA. And they're a collective voice. They're a new organisation, and they're a collective voice in WA made up of people with disability, their families, carers, and people from the broader sector. Their aim is to generate informed, impartial discussion and debate on the big issues. The thing I like about Disability Assembly is that it really does create a safe place for meeting, sharing knowledge and expertise. They're a local community for local people who know disability inside out. And they're a powerful group. With the board, we then have a council made up of almost 20 people. That's a lot of people who know disability really quite deeply. So I saw the opportunity working with DAWA to see if we could get support to run a disability challenge. Delivering events myself for 15, 20 years now, I've seen a lot of exclusivity. So a lot of people that don't get included in the events, and that's all sorts of events. And so I approached the team at the council and asked if they would be interested, and they jumped at it. They had never had this opportunity before. It's very difficult for people with disabilities to get to events. And so that's why we focused this particular challenge on getting around and getting out and about in WA. So we tried to present some real opportunities and observations, if you like, where people with in a wheelchair, it might be a physical disability, it could be an invisible disability, and there's a lot of them that we don't know about. And how would they get to these events, and how do they know what services and facilities are available to them? So that was the challenge that we posed. It was a WA focused challenge, of course, on what information can you find out about accessibility for lots of different events that we have here in WA. I did give them a list of all types of disabilities to consider, but I didn't need people to consider every disability type because there's lots of them.
Excellent. Thanks, Jan. And what was really exciting about this is with GovHack, the participants can enter projects in multiple challenges, and the cascading impact is we saw a lot of inclusive projects across all of the challenge because of this one in there. So it was really exciting to see some of those projects even in other categories as well. So
it was
really
nice to even at the competition itself to hear people talking about accessibility. It was really good. You're right. There was a flow and impact, 100%.
So I'll move on to the awards for this challenge for getting out and about in WA with a disability. We have one honourable mention, and the honourable mention for this challenge is
Project New View by Team New View MBCC in Albany in Western Australia. Go team, well done.
Congratulations. And we have one runner-up for this challenge, and the runner-up was?
It was Project AccessiLink by Team AccessiLink, another WA team, of course, in Perth. Thank you, guys. Well done.
Excellent. Congratulations. All right, and then moving on to the winner for the challenge, getting out and about in WA with a disability. The winner is...
The winner is Advantageous by Pubble Wobbles in Perth. Well done, team. This was they embraced exactly what we said we asked for. They had a great user interface. It was really easy to use, and it scraped one of the collaborators that we have called Perth is OK. They scraped a lot of events out of that and had a look for the facilities that were provided and couldn't find very much information at all. And this is the problem. So there is a data opportunity for local councils and state government around the place. But I really liked that they'd also included surrounding facilities. So not just the event itself, but they had a look around to see what they could find. So well done, Team Pubble Wobbles. You did a brilliant job. Thank you.
Congratulations, Pubble Wobbles. So that does conclude the award winners for the challenge for the Disability Assembly Western Australia and Partner Process. So thank you, Jan.
Thank you, Matt.
Moving on to the next one, we do have another challenge for Western Australia. This is a GovHack challenge for Western Australia. And the challenge was using open data to close the gap. How can we improve the data and information sharing practices between government and Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities and organisations to close the gap? The Close the Gap campaign aims to close the health and life expectancy gap of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island peoples and non-Indigenous Australians within a generation. Closing the gap acknowledges the ongoing strength and resilience of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island people in sustaining the world's oldest living culture. Again, it was exciting to see this challenge, multiple entries across different challenges being submitted and having a bit of focus on how they could be inclusive yet again with this challenge. So it was really exciting to see with this challenge. We've got 2 honourable mentions for it, and the first honourable mention is One Data from Team 42 Adelaide in Adelaide. Congratulations to the Team 42 Adelaide. We have another honourable mention, and the second honourable mention for this one goes to Roots Radar by the Sydney Siders in Sydney. Congratulations to Team Sydney Siders. Okay, moving on to the winner. The winner for the challenge, using open data to close the gap, goes to Team Wisdom Walks ORG from Perth. Wisdom Walks is an open source knowledge-based website fostering community contributions on building a permanent archive for Indigenous knowledge and cultural heritage sites. This data will be organised as articles on an interactive map with the purpose of encouraging users to go out and visit, learn about their local heritage sites. This will simultaneously raise awareness and start social discussions about Indigenous issues and culture and help close the gap and promoting heritage tourism industry. So once again, congratulations to Team ORG in Perth. That does conclude the challenge for Western Australia and that region for Western Australia. So we've done all 3 regions. We've done ACT, Tasmania and Western Australia tonight. But whilst we've announced these regional awards, we still have an in-person event for Northern Territory tomorrow evening at the Darwin Innovation Hub and other regional awards which have completed in the last couple of weeks. And those results for the other regions will be posted online shortly. In addition to this, we're also following up the International Red Carpet Awards in Moreton Bay next Saturday. Tickets for the in-person are still available, and you can express your interest to attending these with the URL that we'll share at the end of the stream. The International Red Carpets are sponsored by the City of Moreton Bay and the University of Sunshine Coast. The International Red Carpet Awards will again be streamed via YouTube, and you can find the details via the Hackerspace or on our YouTube channel. From ACT, Tasmania and Western Australia, there were a number of Golden Tickets awards shown on the screen. In addition, representatives from lucky teams in other regions would have also received an email about these. As our inspiring event comes to a close, We want to extend a final word of thanks to everyone who made GovHack such an extraordinary experience this year. To our brilliant participants, your innovation has been nothing short of inspirational. To our dedicated volunteers, your tireless efforts have woven the very fabric of the event. To our audience, your engagement and enthusiasm have elevated our collective journey. But once more, we must express our deepest appreciation to our sponsors. Your support has been the cornerstone for our success, fostering a vibrant community of thinkers, creators, and leaders. You enable a platform of ideas to flourish and for technology to serve a common good. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you either tune into our International Red Carpet Awards next Saturday or potentially even be there in person and meet some of you in person. We'll share those details on the screen now. If you're interested, expressing interest for some of those available tickets left. And thank you and good night.